Okay, perfect. Let's bow it. Now go. Very good. Okay. Right, we'll get started. Onegaishimasu. So apologies if you get any of the loud noises, it's just a procession going by for the Easter. But we'll just start a little bit warm up.
Sorry, a bit.
Oh no, don't worry.
Hello.
Great, just take it a little bit with an arm swing to the side. Okay, get yourself in the hips. And change direction. Good. Loosen out the legs. Okay, you bring them together and bring them straight in. Good, and circle in. Change direction. Okay, good. Okay, just working out the sides of the feet. Okay, raising up onto the toes, folding at the top. Give it sinking the weight back onto the heels, raising the toes up. Good, pressing the big toe down, raising the other toes. Okay, pressing all the other toes down, bringing up the big toe. Okay. This one's a little bit, if you're not barefoot, this one's a little bit tricky, but you just want to sink the weight into one foot. As if you got, I think like you've got a piece of paper under the foot or like a towel, and just if you're kind of gripping it with the toes. So as if you're going to kind of try and pick it up, you want the back heel to just be off the ground, so you can sink the weight here. And then just if you're gripping with the toes, so if you want to kind of lift it up, just that. So the heel's off the ground, you just want to close the foot together. Squeeze in the foot. So. Good, and then turn the other side. Yeah. Okay, and then take it in this way. You can sink into one leg as if you're going to gripping something. You can do this with this one's usually done with like a little marble, but just do this in the sense that you're kind of gripping with the foot. Keep that kind of position. And then you're going to lift up. You're going to press out here, and then you're going to roll the leg to the back. So you raise up, press out. All the time, try and keep that sense you're kind of gripping with the foot. So the leg stays, the foot stays active. Bring it to the back. Raise up, grip out. It's helpful to do this with something so you can feel that the foot can kind of clamp around something. You just do it as if you're gripping in this case. And you just want to make the movement as smooth as possible. It's kind of raise, press, sink it back. Raise, press out, sink it back. Raise, press, sink. And once you've got it, just play with it if you can with a kind of fluid motion. Tricky to keep the foot active all the time with it. So, great, and then just play with the other side as well. So sink the weight in. Get the sense you're kind of picking up. Raise it up. Press it up. Sink it back. Raise up. Press out. Sink it back. And you want to make the three kind of separate to start. Raise, press, sink. And then once you're done, if you just play with it, smoothly transitioning and keeping that sense kind of gripping. Good. Okay, and then just shake it out, keep the foot loose. Just rolling out the hip, play with any weight. Both sides. Good. We'll do a few for the hands as well. So the first, you're just going to release out the shoulders. Just going to roll them any way you like. You can alternate them. Move them together. Especially trying to loosen the shoulders at the chest, the shoulder blades. So, good. Put a little bit into the neck as well if you feel it's kind of tight. Okay, taking to the elbows, kind of winding them again any way you like. You can do this up high, a bit low. Just getting kind of loosened up. And then just go to the wrists, and just loosen out any way you like. Circles. Good. Good, rolling them together, kind of clamping the forearms together a little bit. Just rolling through the wrists. See if you can change the grip on the hands. You interlock. You probably have one kind of way you always kind of interlock that way. See if you can go the other way. interlock, and take it in the opposite direction. A little bit strange. Okay, good. There's just a few positions with the hands. So the first one, you're just going to have the palm out, stretching the fingers out this way. And then you're just going to curl the fingers into this position. A little bit like a kind of gorilla kind of hand. You're just curling the knuckles under. And just working between those two positions, stretching the fingers out and curling them under. Keeping the palm flat. Nice, kind of tight in and out, and keeping the fingers together if you can. Curling and uncurling the fingers. Good, and then you're going to flatten the fingers. You get like a shape like this kind of position. You're going to just play with curling the fingertips underneath. Not quite making a fist. So working from that position to that position. Not quite into a fist yet. Think about tightly and then curling and then uncurling. Good. And then the last one, flattening the fingers down, like you've got a kind of flat fist without the knuckles curled. And then again, curling it into now a fist. Nice and tight. And then again, so you've got that position and then curl it up. And then this is quite a tricky one actually. Release it that way. I'm trying to feel like it's kind of tightens. If you do this correct. A little tighten the thing. Curling and uncurling again. Just keeping the thumb kind of neutral for this one. Good. And then from here, just open them out, working with a 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒄. Close at the same time. And just feel at the same time as you kind of extend out, feel the weight sinking down into the feet, settling down as you reach out. Good. Good, and then just working down the forearms, so taking one side, and you're just going to kind of grasp and a little bit of a kind of twist into it. As you do it, bring that extension on and kind of rotate into the grip a little bit. And work both ways with it, so this way. You're going to kind of screw the hand the opposite way to the hand, or the gripping hand. Like that kind of action. You want to feel like a corkscrew through the forearm. That. So. Good, just working both sides with it. Nice tight grip. Great. So one at a time, just looking at the wrist. So we should work this way. Getting the hips a little bit involved in it. And as you reach out, feel the weight sink down into the feet. The wrists nice and loose. If you can loosen out into the knuckles and the feet. Great, and we're going to do a little bit of tummy work. So just working with a nice kind of light, loose fist. Yeah. Just working with find the center line. Elbow tight to the body and just play with kind of throwing it out. Keep the fist in this, keep the wrist nice and loose to start with. So you've got that kind of feeling. That kind of feeling. The important thing with this is kind of neutral stance as you begin. So you've got the hand out. Just throw out the wrist. That's it. Good. Keep going. That's it. It's a neutral position, find it. And then let the elbow just pass through the body. And then as it comes back, passes the body. As you feel comfortable with it, so either working one side or alternating it each time. That's it. Okay, good. See. Yeah, good. Nice. Good. Yeah, and the main thing with this is try and feel as much the lower body as well as the upper. So it's really easy to kind of lose the legs in it, so that either the legs are kind of tense or they're just kind of not really involved in it. So think at the same time as you're doing it, you want the lower body to also be involved in it. So you've got just sinking down. It's kind of movement. So just start to add a little bit of power into the strike, just a little bit. But feel again that sinking down. You really want to involve the lower body. Try and really you want the motion movement to really be coming from the central. But it's really easy for this to start to creep up. And then the body ends up doing things like this. So use this kind of neutral mode to really kind of settle the body in, and then you increase that movement down. But that feels like you're kind of squeezing that strike out, squeezing it out. So yeah, that's it. Yeah. That's it. There we go. Good. Yeah. The other way you can play with this is it's a little bit like with the weapon work. We tend to emphasize the strike, and everything goes to the strike. So the kind of power is kind of trying to put something at the end of it. The same with the punch up. This tends to happen something like this. That. So I'm trying to add it power right at the end. But the power is going to come from the connection to the ground and the kind of coordination of the body. So just play with this. You don't really find the strike with it. You just work one side with it. But you kind of flow through the movement. So you're flowing through it. It's important to keep that kind of elbow connection to the hip. A little bit more like how we do koku work, so that kind of feeling. And the same thing that koku, the tendency to come into powers here, but actually feel that the whole movement's kind of power with this. So you want that kind of thick connection with it. So you de-emphasize the strike, or the kind of the kime, the kind of the focus. De-emphasize the focus and emphasizing the kind of thick connection, but just play with that connection as well. And there's a tendency in these repetitious movements to bam, 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 and you miss all that kind of connection working between it. So it's not so much coming into a position, it's working through a movement. So just play the kind of both sides. And also with this one, when you're doing a strike, that kind of traditional Shotokan way, which is kind of pull and push with the hands, look at that same connection as well. So when you're doing this, that thick connection between the hands. We're going to exercise once with the belt like strapped around the shoulders, in that sense that you kind of got this kind of connection across the arms, left to right, so that kind of thing. That's We'll do a little bit of kick work, so it works on the same kind of works with the hands, we work with the legs a little bit. So just like the first sentence with this is, start this when in a posture, so you start either left or right side, the feet in, square. The first one is just have the hands out, and you're just practicing this coming up. So this, coming up to the foot. Don't raise don't lower the hands. In this case, just kind of keep them out neutral, right? And you bring the knee to the hand. The important thing with this is the balance here and dropping the leg back. So you just want to feel that you can raise it up, sink it back. Raise it up, sink it back. Raise it up, sink it back. And put as much emphasis on the lower leg as the one that's kind of coming up. So I need the ground here below. There. Sinking all the feeling beneath. That's it. So you got this kind of snapping movement in it. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Wow. Over here. Okay. Yeah, good. Good. Yeah, just watch this, the stability in the hips. So what tends to happen with this is the hips kind of come out of the ground, and then I get this kind of wobble into it. So really think about the back side of the legs as you do this. So my hip don't really go anywhere so much. So in the sense you want the sense that you're kind of sitting into the technique. You don't want to kind of raise up out of it. Because I kick and go into motion, this will pull the body out. So look for, you do this sense of kind of seated into the hips. This kind of feeling. This kind of feeling. You should be as stable as you can in one leg. That kind of sense. So the hips need to come down, come down, come down this way. That's it. That's it. That's it. Okay, good. Good. Great. Okay, then just bring in the kicks up. Go through that same motion. This. And then what you want to do is like reach out with the foot and then bring it back. So what you're looking for is this snap and coming back. This snap, bringing it back. This snap, bringing it back. This snap, bringing it back. Just use the hand of the knee there as you touch it. Reach out, bring it back. Reach out, bring it back. Don't worry so much about the foot. But just that sense of snapping it out, bring it back. Snap it out, bring it back. So you're doing a kick. You want to spend the least amount of time in the kick position with one leg off the ground. So obviously most kicks are going to be pretty sharp and fast. I basically want to get back to 2 legs. Big risk making a kick.
Hey, Michael, have you been watching that clip of Jesse with Seagal?
Yeah, I saw it. No comment.
Yeah.
Interesting, no comment. Yeah. But I see that's a trick where he describes like a spear technique, like this kind of sense of thrusting coming back. If you've got a wall, just play with this. I used to do this with a partner. Show it. Maybe that. You just kind of touch it, so you can see. You just touch it, bring it back. It's not very clear at all. Sorry about that. Maybe that. You touch, bring it back. So you're just playing with that and that. That and that. So it's just a kind of light contact exercise. I usually do this with a person. Doing it with the you're just touching, bringing it back. Touching, snapping back. That's it. Again, you want the same kind of contact as if you were touching with the hand and the foot. That's it. So you know those important things about contact, like the connection to the ground, the alignment. Those are really important, super important with the kind of kicking. But tricky because you're really on one leg totally. That's it. That's it. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's what we'll do the ureka, and then we'll link it as a set. So again, just start this with one side. Got, in this case, you've got the same side connection. You've got this kind of feeling here, and then release it. The main thing to feel here is this into the body. So you've got a different kind of quality or different movement pattern in the body. The strike and the kick kind of front base, but this is kind of whip based kind of movement. So you're looking for this kind of motion. It's tricky with this because the body, in a way, the center can feel like it's pulling back out of it. But the main thing to feel is this kind of screwing in to the ground. So you've got this kind of whip out. So the main thing is that I can show. The main thing, think about the quality, like it's elastic in the sense that as it comes out, snaps back. As it stretches out, snaps back straight away. So as you reach the full extension with it, feel that it's kind of snapping back to the body. So you've got like that kind of motion. That kind of motion. So it's better in this case with the strike. So really keep the wrist quite loose, really supple, and then it doesn't bring the bicep into it. So I don't want the biceps kind of contract there or kind of block it. So I want to really let it release. Stick that coming back. Stick that coming back. Stick that coming back. That's it. So there's tons of ways you can link these together, and we'll play with them next week. Just start with this kind of base combination. You do all of them with the same hand, same side. So just start like this. I know we're used to an Aikido punching through with the same side, but this one you're going to do like across, so you're coming in this way, that punch, and then you're going to bring that back leg through, kick in, step with it, and then you're striking with the uraka, with the right side. So it all comes from the same side of the body in this case. But this step down with it, and then strike through with it this way. Again, you can take your time with really kind of loading the position. This, kind of feeling. Or again, once you can just start to make them a little bit more fluid. But just keep it kind of simple. Everything's from the same side. So the right hand, right foot, and then a right back fist. Yeah, the main quality of work, same with the weapon work, is that quality of grounding down as you extend out. So again, the kick's the most tricky one, but really try and keep the sense of the balance. You do it. So the down and out, down, out, down, out. H, whoosh, whoosh. Okay. Yeah, so you can stay at that level, but also I use this in the dojo when sometimes as a kind of an atemi exercise and as a movement drill. So if you think of this now that the partner's not staying on the same line, they're going to be kind of moving around. So what you've got to think about now is as you deliver the strike here, the person's kind of moved. So you can think about now kind of I just readjust, find them again, and then I then keep the same side. And they move, I readjust, find that strike. But again, simple as well. In the dojo, you can do this anyway with it, but keep it simple and to kind of train to get used to the pattern of it. Keep the same hand attacking, and then you can kind of explore different hand movements with it. And then later you can use any hand and any combination, but just to start, we tend to keep these as kind of set. So you've got to kind of strike, and I've got to think the person's moved. How do I readjust? Find them, readjust, find them this way. That's it. So imagine you strike, the person moves, you readjust, strike. It's the same thing, we do this sometimes, this practice with the weapons as well. So it's working with the idea of kind of tracking the person around the mat, around the space. Again, the main thing of balance is like there's two things. The main point of balance is power generation. I need the ground to generate power, and I need the ground to generate movement as well. So the key thing here is that contact with the ground. I don't want to kind of lose it and then lose it all the time. So you don't want to go in and out of balance. You just want to stay in balance, stay in balance. H.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's very easy with this pattern kind of reveals this where you kind of switch the angles. It's very easy with these. Same with the weapons. I get front loaded, front loaded, front loaded. And that's fine when the pattern's in front. So it's the same with the weapon. Front load, front load, front load. But when you change where you've got a live partner and then moving around, I need to adjust to them. Then I need to be able to stay in balance as I do it. So that kind of feeling. Yeah, that's it. Good, good. So the next level from this also, you can stay at that level, but think about now the transition or the kind of tracking motion and the second attack come together, or the kind of follow-up attack comes together. So you've got this strike, and then think about the movement here, the strike, and then the movement here, and then the strike kind of coming out of it. So you're looking for now that kind of rotation into the strike. And very similar stuff we do with the weapons in a really formal way. Think about kind of 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒖𝒊𝒔𝒄𝒄. So the sense of the rotation. Together. This kind of feeling. This kind of feeling. This kind of feeling. So use that same kind of idea we use with the weapons. So. And if you've not done, play with both sides, obviously, so play with the left side as well. So you can also go back to the old, tend to keep this on one side, but try with both as a kind of challenge. So we'll just go to the other side of it. So what you can do, again, you can do this just as a drill where you basically follow the person around and that they just provide a kind of target for you. And then the next stage from this, you can start to add blending motions with the defender working with blend. So in this case, a nice kind of set, you've got the strike coming in, you've got a mid-level blend coming across the body this way, this, and then you've got the kick coming through, which is going to start with a low level. So I want to protect the body here. Come in low, and then you've got the hurricane, which is always generally going to be coming towards the face, got a slightly higher movement. So just play with these three ideas. You've got to again work with a kind of movement. As you do this two ways, you can do it as if you're the kind of blending they're coming forwards. So you're just kind of blending back with it. But the main thing is this kind of mid-level, slightly lower, and then high, coming towards the head. So just think about what you're kind of protecting. Generally, this strike's going to be towards the solar plexus. The kick's going to be anywhere, generally, it can go to also to the solar plexus, obviously, but generally in this kind of practice, it starts coming towards the leg, towards the knee. But just think of it coming kind of slightly lower. I want to kind of cover this area so that the leg I can kind of roll across it, and later maybe deal with kind of catching the leg if I'm lucky. But just playing with it, coming low with it, and generally coming to the temple. This way, or to the face, to the eyes and the nose. So you need something high, kind of roll off it. The main thing is that again, you don't want to be working with blocks, you want to be working with kind of roll patterns. There. Just play with kind of mid, low, high. And again, nice to do as a set, especially in the dojo, because then you can kind of train different footwork patterns. And you kind of know what's coming within a kind of limit. Nice. Good.
Coming here.
Great, and then we'll deal with the one idea where you can start to bring in, once you've got these kind of blending kind of movements, you start to also introduce strikes back into it. So generally start working with this with punches, because they're kind of also really familiar. There's lots of examples in basic techniques where you're using a kind of blending pattern, things like 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒂𝒄𝒃, blending patterns and strikes coming in kind of together, these kind of motions. We're going to like 𝒊𝒏𝒈, this kind of blending in, 𝒕𝒉, this kind of work. So just start with a kind of idea that you're working with a Judan ski, and just play with that sense that the blend and the moves the most important. But now you're looking to kind of fit in, strike inside the movement. It can be anything you like. You can also use obviously you can use the blending hand to also act like an 𝒕𝒉. Generally be to the arm, but could also be applied to the hand, to the head, the body. Yeah. So that kind of thing. You just want to play with moving and striking at the same time. The main things that they're coming together now, so that blended movement and the strike together, 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 together. Yeah. Right. There we go.
Oh.
Okay, great. We'll just finish with I think we've done this a few times before, but the Shihonage technique. So this is kind of got some tummies in it, and they really fit in with the movement as well. So modified kicks, modified strikes, and also one elbow as well. You can do so. The first one, this is working from category. So the first one is again one of the tummies that's not in the basic technique that we don't do. But think about as you come out to the side, these strikes coming up to the head this way. So this the backhand in this case, as you come out, this hand's coming up towards the face at the same time, this one. And it gives you time just to readjust, take the wrist here. Okay. So that's the first one here, it's coming out and you're striking towards the head. Not really a lot of power behind it, but it's much more of a distraction to allow you to take the control. This. It's coming up to just take the attention and then you basically fall into the rest. There. There you go. That's it. That's it. That's it. Okay, the second was a kick. So this is a low kick. Usually there are a few kicks and a few examples of kicks in the techniques, so technique work. They're actually all of them are kind of low. They're either working with the knee towards the head, which is down, like cat. In this case, you're taking the side of the knee. So you're working in this case, you've got that one. This, as you take this, you've got the front leg in front, you want to take the leg at the back, snap into the front leg. So again, you've got that same idea this that we did before, but it's much tighter now. This compression, and it's right to the side of the leg this way. You're coming in, and if you want to, you're going to crunch down onto the leg, but this one again, just kind of work the structure a little bit. It's coming in this way. And open them out. So you've got that for the head, yeah. Basically taking the knee out this way. And you can go into the technique level. So in the case of really low kick, goes right to the side of the knee. And you don't need a lot of force with this at all. Ever got kicked in the knee? Super easy to get injured. Okay, yes. Yeah. So, again, the main thing is kind of keeping the balance so that you're free to. Obviously, you want to generate power from the ground, but the key thing with the techniques like this, you want to be able to move. Next one's really obvious, but it comes in this way. You strike in here, and then you basically open the person out. As you come through, you've got this elbow coming right to the side of the ribs. So as you open them out, it's coming in that way, right to the floating ribs. Look there, and then as you come through, it's driving in, and then the technique's basically finished. And you've also got another one on the ground, but so those three there, and then open them out, strike through. You can also, with this, you can skip some of the attempts, you can work them all together. These attempts are really good for also distancing as well. So you're working the butt, right to the right distance, so I can deliver the strike. And get through into the technique. Oh boy. Good.
One, two, one, two.
Great. And then the last week, just play with it again. A lot of these atemi were taken out because they kind of interrupt the flow of it. And really, if you ever land one of these atemi in the technique, you notice straight away, go. They're going to kind of take the person out. The technique kind of becomes unnecessary anyway. Just think about a little bit like this as you go through them. They're kind of the potential to make them. So you want to be in the kind of position where you can bring them out, but you don't quite make them. But just think that you can, basically. It's just being aware of where they are in that movement. And they're really embedded within the movement itself. So you're just looking for that kind of idea that I can, but I choose not to. That kind of feel that. And then the last, you just play with basically going through it. Just learn all right through the technique. Okay. Wash. Good. Whoa. Perfect. Okay, great. Very good. We will get out. Great. どうもありがとうございます。
𝒊𝒂𝒂𝒏𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂 Thank you. We'll see you Friday, hopefully.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
Thanks a lot, guys. See you tomorrow.
Cheerio. Enjoy the carnival.
Yeah, I'll try.